height of his career. They called him the Dutch member in charge. Okamuzi, yes, I have men right here on Living Legends. Masimba Dinyero, Magadi office. Tusalutaga. Awachafara chagonepa Living Legends. Tinotenda vana vanonongozoti Masimba Dinyero ana member in charge. Mangodongoti paka norondo kadikidiki kezvoupenyu venyu.
Yeah. About football in my working career.
Yeah, when you grew up.
Yeah, I started playing football during junior football, Dynamo's junior football, being coached by Dinyero, the late. Then from there I left the Dynamo's juniors and I joined Whiteman's Football Club in 1981 up to 1984, playing Super League. That was Super League by that time.
Okay.
And then 1985, I finished my O-level in 1984. 1985, I was working at Whiteman's, and immediately I was snapped by ZRP, Black Mambas Football Club by Daniel Chikanda. I joined ZRP Police in 1985, and from 1985 up to 2011, that's when I resigned from the police force.
Surprisingly, you understand that 1989, you scooped the Soccer of the Year, and then I'm looking at it. You're coming from a very small team like Black Mambas.
Yeah.
Take us through the experience.
Yeah, it's because of determination, discipline, and as a player or as a footballer, you want to achieve big things. So I thrive from hard working and to be disciplined on and off the field, and every time listen to instructions from the coaches. We have a national team, club coaches, even going out to watch other teams play. You could meeting other elder players, you would greet them, give them their respect every time. So you have to respect your elders first, then you come yourself. And from there, I always worked hard up to that 89. Because 89, it was a tie, myself and Sticks Mtizo. From there, they couldn't find the winner, but lastly, lucky, I was the winner. I beat Sticks Mtizo by 1 point.
By 1 point.
To scoop the 1980, and my team was relegated by that year, 1989.
Okay.
Black Mambas.
Nice. I'm seeing that member in charge was your nickname.
Yeah.
Others say that you're a former ZRP. Others say it's because of your influence and your discipline in the field. You may want to tell us about it.
Yeah, because I was the captain of Black Mambas Football Club. Yeah, and this honor was given by Dinyero Chikanda to captain Black Mambas Football Club up to the time it was defunct. It was bought by the Blackpool business people, Ronnie Chota, Joe Salif, the late George Ngua, Forbes Chitawa, Lake Champange, the late Benny Mchezi, and Joe Pajero. They went to buy Black Mambas, and it was Blackpool Football Club. From there, I was still the captain of Blackpool.
Okay.
Until I left Blackpool 1995, and I went back to Dynamos 1996 up to 2001. Back to my roots, Dynamos.
Back to your roots, Dynamos.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I understand. How did you balance the two? Your therapy, and at the same time, they also want you at the ground. For example, it's on a Sunday, maybe there is a game, and you also on duty.
No, I used to work Monday to Friday. I used to work at PHQ admin. So I was allowed to go to training after work, 4:30, and I had to go for training.
Yes, I got Masimba Dinyero right here on Living Legends. Join us after this short break. the second segment of Living Legends, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you haven't gone anywhere. Today I brought you Masimba, Dinyero, to all the Dimbaye fans. Yes, I got Dutch right here with me on Living Legends. Masimba, I understand you joined Dynamos around 1971, somewhere there.
Yes.
How did it come about, and who approached you?
No, I liked football, and my parents, especially my father, didn't like me to play football. He liked me to concentrate more on books than football. But I used to dodge to go and play football. That's the time I saw Coach Daniel Dinyero at Mbare Chishawasha grounds. He called me. Then he said, "Come and join Dynamos Juniors." That's the time I went and joined Dynamos Juniors Football Club. From there, after school, in the afternoon, at 3 o'clock, we used to go to Shawasha grounds and train.
Okay.
But coming back, I always come back late home. That's the time I get a rude awake from my father
Okay.
because he didn't like me to play football. But later on, he enjoyed seeing me playing football, and is the person who made me where I am today, because he's now late, but he's the man who made me where I am today.
Today, I understand. You were one of the players who went to the CAF Champion Leagues and reached the final. How was the experience for you?
It was a good experience because every player likes to achieve something. Like in Africa, as Dynamos, I think it was an honor for me and the Dynamos family and all the players who went to play in that CAF Champions final against ASEC Mimosa. But to us, players who played that tournament, we achieved a lot because we experienced a lot, because when you travel in Africa, you meet different things.
Mhm.
And when we arrived in ASEC Mimosa, it was too hot, humid air. But as brave Dynamos players, we played all our hearts out. But unfortunately, we lost that final
Yes, yes. I was
4-2.
disappointed when you guys lost that. Actually, fans were disappointed when you lost. There are other stories. Some say that Dimbada Tingama players,
Yeah,
what really happened?
people can talk and talk, but we when we were on the day of the match in Ivory Coast, the West Africans, they're always rude. They don't like us because what they did, they used dirty tactics every time. We were not allowed to go into the field of play to do our warm ups. We were locked outside the dressing rooms. But what we had to use another means to go into the field of play. But unfortunately, when we went into the field of play, the referees already said time for warm up is up. You are not allowed to do warm up. Then we complained to the referee and to the match commissioner. Later on, there were squabbles in the field of play because when you are in a away team, you use your own half pitch to do your warm up, and the other guys, they do on their own half. But unfortunately, one of my fellow colleague players, Callisto Pasua, he went to the opposition side and he was doing his warm up, hitting his football, scoring in an empty net. That's where the squabble started. Then it was fight all over. And unfortunately, when we went to help Callisto to rescue, myself, Chamu, and other guys, Memory, the captain on that day, and other Chamu and the other players, we went to rescue Callisto. But unfortunately, Memory Mchira was head-butted by Donald Siasia, the Nigerian.
Oh, yes, Masimba, they're defending his team and telling us what really happened during that game. Masimba, let's talk of match fixing. I understand it happened before, it's still happening right now in the Football League. What do you have to say about it? What's the reason why match fixing is not coming to an end?
Yeah, match fixing here in Africa this started in Asia. I think we went to play in Daniel Trophy in Malaysia. That was 1997. I think Asia is the most continent which does match fixing. And some of us here, yes, they did match fixing, but it's not a good thing for players to do match fixing. If you can't achieve your goals, just try to work hard and achieve your goals, because match fixings are very bad. It's a bad habit in football, because in the end, you won't be recognized. And most teams won't buy you because they always see you are what, a cheater.
Yes, Masimba Dinyero, officer, right here on Living Legends. Join us after this short break. The last and final segment of Living Legends, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you haven't gone anywhere. Today I brought you Masimba Dinyero just for you, our viewers. Masimba, I understand you want to coach.
Yes, I was a coach. I'm still a coach.
Up to now.
Yes.
Okay. Given a chance, would you prefer to be in the pitch or strategizing on the bench?
No, as a coach, you coach at your training field. Next thing, when you are in the field of play, you just have to back instruction, because much of your work is done at training ground. At field of play, it's only yourself coach is 10% on the match day, 90% is for players.
So what would you have preferred then?
Both.
Both, okay. I understand you played for the national team. Do you have any memorable moments you have?
Yeah, I think the game against Egypt, when you went to Egypt, and that game we played under floodlight in Cairo, the 120-seater stadium. And unfortunately, that game didn't end because most of the Egyptians were starting to throw some of the cement which they were removing from the grandstand. And that's the time when Coach Reinhard Fabish was hit by one of the cement on the upper eye, on his right upper eye. And Medic Doc Vikram Naik attended to him, and that was the end of that game. And that game was replayed in Lyon, France, and we drew 0-0. And that is the time when we went for the next stage. But unfortunately, we lost to Cameroon.
Okay.
Against Cameroon. Here, we won 1-2-1. In Cameroon, we lost 1-0.
1-0.
And we went out of the World Cup qualifying match by away goal rule. And again, in that year, again, we lost to Zambia in the National Sports Stadium when Kalusha Balia scored with a glancing header, and we drew 1-1 when we needed a win at all cost to go to the Africa Cup of Nations.
Okay, I understand that you are midfielder.
Yeah.
Do you have a greatest opponent that you feared the most during your time?
Here, locally or outside?
Locally, when you played.
And locally, there was a lot of competition. Yeah, I used to play. My competition was between myself and Memory Mchirawa.
Okay.
Because we were of the same height, and people say dynamic, it comes in small packages. So we used to work tirelessly. So every time when we meet against each other, one of us will be on top, the other one will be under someone. But on your day, if you are on song, you could territorize your fellow opponent.
Okay, Masimba, I understand you're one of the greatest gurus of Dimbari when it started back then. Your team, you're looking at it now. What do you have to say about it?
I'm very disappointed to see Dynamos in the relegation zone. It's pathetic. Like Dynamos, it's a big institution. Nowadays, these players who are playing and wearing or donning the blue and white jersey, they are not putting their effort, because people come to watch Dynamos playing, and fans, Dynamos fans, they are always winners. They are not losers. They always want to see their team winning every time. Each year they win a championship, or they become runners up, or they take other big accolades like Chibuku, Super Cup. But nowadays, Dynamos is fighting relegation. It's very, very.
Coming back to Division 1, what do you think must be done?
Hey, Dynamos, if it goes to Division 1, it's pathetic. Because, Dynamos, Islanders, Caps United, those are the biggest teams in Zimbabwe. It's like Manchester United going in Division 1, Liverpool going in Division 1. It's sad to see such a team because those are crowd pullers and people, they go and watch their favorite teams. But Dynamos at the moment it's pathetic.
What do you think must be done as a former player of this team?
Let's get reunited because Dynamos is being run like a tuck shop now. It's no longer a big institution. Dynamos should have people who have got heart in football and who can have the heart to help those youngsters prosper for greater heights. But at the moment, Dynamos, everyone wants to do his own things at Dynamos. So it's no longer a big institution.
Dynamos being run like a tech shop, says Masimba Dinyero right here on Living Legends. Right, time is not on our side, Masimba. But I understand that they are some of the greatest footballers who dominated in this industry. Some of your age, some who passed away.
Yeah.
And then they are living a life that is not so upward very much. What do you think must be done as a legend?
To me, I think we should have a fund for those past years players because they should have pensions. You should, because if you see some of us, they are living a life which is not reliable for a player who has played to the greater heights. He needs something to compensate him because, like in Europe, they are given pensions and players, they live long because they've got something to leave behind their family if they pass away. But here in Zimbabwe, we are different from South Africa. South Africa, they protect their players. Here, it's nothing like that. We want to have that pension fund for those retired players.
Okay. Any last words to the Masimba Dinyero fans who are looking at us tonight?
To me, I said football here in Zimbabwe should be run by people who have football at heart. I think we will prosper to greater heights. And look, like football here in Zimbabwe, it has gone down. Because those countries which were below us, they are now above us because they've got football at heart. And we have people who want to see their countries prosper, go to World Cup, Africa Cup of Nations. Any cup which is being played by the national team should put your country on the calendar. I think people who have got that heart to run football in Zimbabwe, they should come in office.
Okay, any last words to the young footballers who are growing up so that they can be legends one day?
I think nowadays these youngsters, they should leave drugs out and concentrate more on football, not to go clubbing, drinking, drugs. They should stop and abstain again, those youngsters.
Thank you so much for watching the show tonight with Masimba Dinyero. Living Legends, a program that gives you and brings you hilarious memories. Thank you so much for staying with us for the previous 30 minutes we had for you right here on Living Legends. And unfortunately, the time is up and I must love you and leave you guys. But before I do that, the details are appearing on the screen right now. You think you're Living Legend and you want us to pay a visit, do not even hesitate. So from myself, Maslin Bondamakara, the Living Legends production crew that has been running around to make this show beautiful, SBX for International for this beautiful design and setup that is just behind me. Goodbye and much love for you.